Shop Local.
The purpose of our group is to connect small business owners with the Las Vegas locals while creating a network of like-minded professionals to share strategies and support within an online community.
Our mission is to encourage you to get out and go shop local.
Hi, welcome back, Go Shop Local, and thank you for joining us again today. Today we have, I think, a great host for a lot of you dog lovers and animal lovers out there. This is Casey Gish, and he is with Camp Bow Wow, and they are a boarding facility that does boarding, dog training, and a couple other different things. So what I want to do is get into it with Casey. And Casey, welcome, first of all. Sorry, this is Casey Gish. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you doing today?
Doing all right, doing all right. Just looks like we're right around the corner to kind of have all of our, phase 2 businesses getting ready to start opening. So we figured with you guys, kind of see where you're at. And we know that there's going to be people that are going to be needing your services. So figured we would let everybody know kind of what you guys do. And why don't you give us a little introduction to you and Camp Bow Wow and what you do here in Las Vegas for us.
So I'm the owner of Camp Bow Wow Summerlin, and we're located at Summerlin Parkway and the Rainbow Exit, right where the Summerlin Parkway and the 95 freeway come together by the Big Bank of America Tower. And there are 2 other locations in the Las Vegas Valley, Camp Bow Wow Henderson and Camp Bow Wow Las Vegas, which is down by the Strip. And we're all independently owned and operated small businesses. And we provide doggy daycare. So we have big play yards, indoor and outdoor play yards where the dogs come and they play all day just for the day. Their parents drop them off at the beginning of the day, pick them up at the end of the day. Their pet parents can watch them on our webcams all day. And it's very addicting to watch the pups play with each other all day. All play is supervised by a human being. There's always a person in the play yards, whether there's one dog in there or 10 dogs in there, there's always a human being to supervise the play and make sure it stays safe. And each indoor play yard is connected to an outdoor play yard, and the dogs have free access to go in and out as they please. There's 8-foot fences around the outdoor play yards, and there's cameras on those as well. We even put dog pools out in the summer, and the dogs absolutely go crazy for them. They just love playing in the water. Some of them, not all of them. And so in addition to doggy daycare, we also provide overnight boarding. And we're a little bit different, though, than your traditional boarding facility. We don't just leave your dog in a kennel all day, 24 hours a day, taking them out for, bathroom breaks every couple hours. When dogs board with us, they stay in the play yards all day playing with their buddies for 10 to 11 hours a day. When we feed them at night and we put them back in their kennel, we call it a cabin. When we put them back in their cabin, they're out. They're out cold. They sleep through the whole night. They get up and they're ready to do it all again in the morning. It's like while you're on vacation, they're on vacation too. While you're partying at the beach, they're partying at Camp Bow Wow Summerlin with all their buddies. And so and when we turn the dog back over to the pet parent, generally that dog is zonked for a couple days, just trying to recover from all of the playing and running, running miles and miles and miles in the play yards every day. We also offer some grooming at our location. And so we can send your dog home smelling good before you pick them up after a long stay. We do short-term boarding, long-term boarding. We also do daily daycare. We have half days, 5 hours or less. Anything over 5 hours, just in the daycare areas, is considered a full day. In our facility, we do not allow crates even on the premises. All of our cabins are runs 4 feet by 6 feet. That's our standard. You can't get anything else. That's all we have. 4 foot by 6 foot, that's big enough for 2 people to lay down and sleep in. So plenty of room for dogs. We can board family dogs too. They can board in the same cabin together. We actually give you a discount if they can. We've also got family-sized cabins that are basically 2 of our standard cabins. It would be about the square footage. If you think of the square footage of like a king-size bed, that's about how big they are. And we're very, very proud of our all-inclusive pricing. Our boarding price, our overnight boarding price, it's your out-the-door price per night. It includes the cost of putting your dog in the daycare area during the day. It includes feeding them, whether our food or your food. It includes giving them medication if your dog needs that. It includes giving them treats at night, and if you would like, and includes access to our cameras from wherever you are in the world. We even have customers that travel overseas and watch their dogs in the play yards from all over the world. I've even been in third world countries, and my dogs, of course, boarded at Camp Bow Wow Summerlin while I was traveling. But even from third world countries with limited technological infrastructure, I was able to see my dogs in the play yards clear as day on my phone.
Wow, that's a lot of good information there, because you answered a lot of questions that I think a lot of, us dog lovers and animal lovers battle ourselves with. Is, we feel guilty on having to, do things, going out of town and doing different things that we want to enjoy, as humans. We don't always feel that we're kind of fair to our little furry friends that we do consider family. So the fact that we can watch them on the cameras and all those, different things kind of, alleviates the thoughts that I've heard and some of the horror stories, unfortunately, that you do hear at some of these other places that just don't have the care and the heart that you guys put into. So,
well, our philosophy at Camp Bow Wow Summerlin is that's where your dog comes to be a dog. Okay, it doesn't come to sit in a crate or sit in a run 24 hours a day. That's where they come to party with their friends while you're partying on your vacation or on your business trip or whatever it may be. Or we also have a lot of, we've got a lot of customers right now that are medical professionals and essential business workers that have had to continue on working and, working for all of us to protect our health and safety, and have had to work extended hours and haven't had anywhere to put their dogs during the day. And they don't want to leave their dogs locked up for 12, 14 hours a day. So we have a lot of doctors and nurses that come and bring their dogs every day to us, and their dogs just party all day. They come and pick their dog up at the end of the day, and it's totally worn out and hasn't sat in a kennel at home all day. And so we've done a good thing for the community then by providing an essential service for our essential workers. And we've done a good thing for dogs. The greatest animal walking the earth, dogs.
I can't agree more with you, Casey. I'm glad you did bring some of what you just said up, because your business model is dealing with a unique obstacle, just as all these small businesses are. And I think that, everybody's like, how come me and how come I picked this business? But everybody has their own problems that they have to kind of deal with and everything. And I think one of the big issues that I see and I imagine affecting your business is the fact that people are not going out. They're staying home. They're not traveling. I'm guessing that's a huge part of your business, and where, your day-to-day operations, what you rely on, is a big part of that. So how, as a business, for your unique situation, how are you combating that? And how are you trying to stay ahead of that to not make it put a big, for it not to hurt as much as it can?
So about 80% of our business is made up of doggy daycare and overnight boarding. And we were severely impacted by the quarantine and the closure of the economy, because people were no longer going to work. A lot of people were no longer going to work, or they're working from home. So they didn't need any place to put their dog during the day. So that really devastated our doggy daycare side of the business. And then on the other side of the business was our overnight boarding. And we obviously board dogs while people are traveling, either for business or pleasure. And as we all know, once the economy shut down, part of that was all domestic travel and international travel virtually came to an absolute standstill. So our boarding business was just absolutely decimated as well. And just like all small businesses around the country and probably around the world, we've been severely impacted by the shutdown of the economy. And we are open. We're not even close to back to our normal business levels. We're trying to do things to promote our business and offer incentives and sales to our customers. We're going to start offering, for instance, pool parties on Tuesdays, not pool parties, ball pit parties on Tuesdays, where we take one of our doggy pools.
Are humans allowed to come?
What's that?
Can humans join?
Yes, but we're going to take one of our doggy pools and fill it with, like the color balls like you would see in a kid's ball pit. And the dogs absolutely love them. We'll put some treats down in the bottom of it and let the dogs go nuts, try and find it. We're also going to institute bubble parties. Dogs love bubbles. We've ordered a bubble machine. Trying to get anything shipped right now is an adventure in and of itself. And it keeps on getting canceled. The order keeps getting canceled, but we're waiting on it. And once we get that out there, we're going to have once a week bubble parties to try and bring some additional customers in. And another thing, even though, you might be, or a customer might be quarantining at home, your dog still needs socialization with other dogs. And so socializing with humans isn't enough for most dogs. And they need interaction, and especially some of the big working breeds, they need more exercise than a human being can typically physically give. That's how I found out about doggy daycare. I had a big German Shepherd that was driving me crazy. I would run her on a 5K, and that was like a warm up to her. So I changed to a bike, started running her 10 miles on a bike, letting her pull me most of the way. Again, that was like a warm up to her. And I'm like, dog, I physically cannot go any further. This is my limit. And somebody said to me, hey, have you tried taking her to a doggy daycare? And I thought, well, that's about the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Absolutely not, is my dog going to a doggy daycare. So I finally relented and took my dog to Camp Bow Wow Las Vegas down by the Strip. And finally, the dog came home and crashed for 3 days. I finally found an outlet that actually would allow that dog to run for 10, 11 hours a day and just provide the exercise, the physical stimulation, and the mental stimulation that I, as a person, just didn't have the physical capability to do. And that's what we love to do. We love having dogs come in that are just wound up. And then, when they come in, they're crazy. They go crazy with their friends. They come in and they be a dog. They act like a dog at our Camp Bow Wow Summerlin. And we send them home. And when we hear, and we hear this every day, that, hey, once I pick up my dog, the second I close that door on the back seat, he's out. He doesn't even make it to the house. And then he's out for 2 or 3 days. My dogs do the same, my own dogs. When they're starting to annoy me at home, I just say, all right, you guys, that's it. You're going to Camp Bow Wow Summerlin, and you're running an entire day, and then they're out for 2 or 3 days. I literally cannot drag them out of bed the next day.
Well, I think, us and all the audience here can really understand and get that now, because I think most of our pets and animals are looking at us like, you see those memes like, did you lose your job? What are you doing here? Like, get lost. Like, this is my time and you're invading on it. So that's
right.
A really good way to look at it, because, they do need exercise. They do need all these socializations. So And we as humans need to have our free time. Just like when we have children, we need to be able to enjoy ourselves, maybe for an hour, maybe if it's two, maybe whatever, to keep our own sanity in this. So great
Right.
stuff.
I mean, you know, working from home, your dog isn't always a good coworker.
You know what? And as we sit here and talk, my Great Dane has nudged me 3 or 4 times, and I've been trying to hold it together so I do not let it interrupt. But yes, they do not allow you to work, and they just kind of say, get out of here. Well,
Luckily, mine went to Camp Bow Wow Summerlin yesterday, so they are one's here, one is here, one is here, but they are completely zonked out, completely ignoring me.
well, I've yet to see that, so you have piqued my curiosity, sir, and I will be probably taking you up on that very soon to experiment myself. Well, so going forward with your doggy daycare businesses, and speaking with you earlier, you know, hoping to get the love and the feeling that, you know, us pet owners share, and kind of we know when somebody's real, and we know when somebody really cares and they're not trying to make a dollar. And, you know, and kind of talking to you before, and all the precautionary measures that you take and everything that you do to ensure the safety of your staff and your clients or your customers' dogs and animals. You treat them as your own. Obviously, there's a lot of, you know, things that we talked about that you already do to keep clean, to keep safe, all these procedures that you do have in place, that kind of keeps your brand as one of the standards of what your business does. So going forward, what does the business model, how does it change? What do you have to how do you have to adapt to this to give the customers and the health departments and all the stuff for, you know, for small businesses that are wanting to know kind of what you're putting in place in your procedures? You know, what does your business model look going forward post COVID-19?
So let me start with what we did pre-COVID-19. We had pre-COVID-19, we had extremely high standards of sanitary standards, cleanliness standards, and health standards. When I would get tours, I would always get comments like, your place is so much far and above as far as cleanliness than all the other places we've toured, doesn't even compare. And so pre-COVID, we would scrub that place down all day, every day. We'd scrub it in the morning, throughout the day, and then every single night, scrub it from top to bottom with hospital-grade cleaners that are approved for use in hospitals by the FDA. And we use those. They're safe for dogs, though, and that's what we would use. We've now increased that. Post-COVID, we've now increased our cleaning procedures and our sanitary procedures. The employees have also all been certified. They've all had to take a course in doggy daycare COVID-19 awareness and cleaning procedures. And so we've given our employees additional training on that. And like I said, we're continuing to use the hospital grade cleaners, which will kill the COVID-19 virus. We are also, we've put plastic screens at our front desk, at our lobby, to keep our customers safe, keep our employees safe. And we've also instituted within our lobby 6-foot social distancing. And so all customers have to remain at least 6 feet apart from each other when they come in and drop their dog off. We also give the option of curbside pickup and delivery now. We will actually, if you call when you pull up front, we will actually have an employee come out and bring your dog in. And we've also got hand sanitizing wipes at our front desk. We've installed throughout the building. We've installed hand sanitizer dispensers throughout the building for the employees to use. All employees, when in the lobby interacting with customers, are required to wear a mask. And when in the back of the house, you know, in the play yards, our play yards are about 60, 70 feet apart. So that's the closest the employees get to each other when they're working within the, or working in the play yards. Anytime they need to interact with each other and get, closer than 10 feet, they're required to put their mask back on.
Well, that's great to hear. And I think that's going to alleviate, some questions that how people, what they're thinking and how you're treating this and handling this. And again, all of us, whether it's the restaurant industry, whether it's, the dog boarding industry, all of us, we're all having to kind of adhere to different standards. And I feel like the customers will appreciate the fact that you guys are taking it just as serious as everybody else is and protecting our little guys. So that's
Well, and anybody who has questions about our business, they are free to come in without appointment and without any prior consultation or warning and ask us for a tour. As long as they are willing to wear a mask in the back, without prior appointment or without any warning, we will give anybody a tour. We're all about transparency. We got nothing to hide whatsoever. And we'll give you a tour of the entire building, not just portions of it. We'll give you a tour of everything. You can see the entire place front to back. And actually our cameras as well are open to the public. You don't have to have a code to look at what we're doing. Anybody in the entire world can see what we're doing all day, every day. And we're all about transparency. We put the dog's safety first. In my prior life, I was a lawyer and I sold my dream house. I sold my classic car and put everything into this business that I owned. And this is my dream job. This is not the type of job you go into to get rich. It's not that type of business. It's not easy to make money in this business. This is the type of business you go into because you have a passion for animals, for dogs especially. And dogs had always been a huge part of my life as an attorney. Growing up as a child, I'd always had big dogs. And I was a lawyer for 20 years here in Las Vegas. And one day I decided, while I was traveling and having to go all over the country for these big cases that I had to work on, I had boarded my dogs at Camp Bow Wow Summerlin, and I'd been gone for about 6 weeks. And I came back and I thought to myself, kind of done with this lawyer stuff. I wonder if maybe I could get into this doggy daycare business, because I fell in love with the brand, with the Camp Bow Wow brand. I absolutely fell in love with it. And so it was kind of that day I put in motion the entire process to begin getting to the point where I could open. Took me about 3 years from that day to get the dream house sold, move into a tiny, tiny little house, and get everything open. It's basically a part-time job to get a business like this open. And about 3 years later to the day, we opened in December of 2017, and here I am.
Oh, that's great. A lot of us kind of get in, as entrepreneurs into different business ideas, and maybe the goal and one of the main driving factors is financial stability. And that's obviously and understandably a valid reason why most of us get into it. And as to what you were saying, sometimes just because it pays the bills doesn't mean that it's your passion. And if you can get paid for your passion and really do something you love, I mean, realistically, what's the value of the dollar at that point if you can't spend it and enjoy it how you want to with your family, and also the time that you can never get back. So very inspirational, very kind of, the message that I think all of small business owners kick around this idea in the beginning, like, they have an idea and then they make it happen. Can they make it happen? And they do. And then, again, it's not maybe bringing in what you're used to, but the way of living in your life that you enjoy is so much different and so much more fulfilling.
You're exactly right, because the job I have now, I consider it the greatest job in the world. Not only do I get to provide a business that people can use, to help socialize their dogs, to help exercise their dogs, to provide their dog with a more full life. not only that, I get to work around dogs all day. And I've been able to create, about 20 jobs for the Las Vegas community.
No, that's great. I'm sure rewarding in so many different ways, and everybody has their own businesses and their own, what they get out of it. So, for entrepreneurs, I guess going forward, and this is kind of the question that I've kind of asked everybody in your shoes. What advice would you give to the people that are trying to get their business started, these ideas, these things that they want to do? What did Casey do? And you kind of already given us a little background of kind of how you started, you boarded your dog and all that, but what kind of advice can you give some of these small business owners that, maybe haven't taken the plunge yet, or in the plunge and they're waiting to see, some type of light at the end of the tunnel here? What can you offer to these people that help you, help this business, you keep going every day, the struggles and all the things, you keep putting, your pants on one leg at a time? What can you offer to, help these people take a little off their mind?
So if somebody's interested in opening their own business, my advice to them would be find out about the business from other business owners in that particular field, even if they might be your competition in the future. I love to talk about my business with other people that are looking to get into the same arena, and that they might end up being my competition later, but I'm so passionate about the business that I just love talking about it. I love helping other people out, because I want everybody to succeed in our country, in our city. I love our city. I love Las Vegas. I want our city to succeed economically. And just my advice is ask other owners within that particular field. And then once you make the decision to open the business, make sure you've got a business plan. Make sure you've surrounded yourself with experts, and that you are open to not only the advice of others that own businesses in that same field, but are open to your friends and your family's advice. But also, don't be deterred. Don't let people tell you that's crazy, that you're never going to make it. I had so many people tell me that, but you know what? I make my own decisions. And I knew what my goals were, and I knew what my job was. And so the number one thing I did the day after I picked up my dogs from that long stay at Camp Bow Wow and wondered to myself, could I do this? The day after, I thought about it all night and thought about it. I actually sat down and I wrote out a list of goals of, starting with, for instance, whatever it was. I think it was like May of 2015. I wrote down, quit job at big, huge law firm. And then I wrote June 2015, open my own law firm so that I can have a little bit more free time to begin the process of getting the doggy daycare open. And I just went through and I wrote down a single page list of goals, kind of general time frames, and I still have it. It's right here in this drawer next to me. There's nothing else in that drawer except for that list. And I went down and I didn't meet all the goals, but I met most of them. And that was the number one thing that I think I did for myself, was mapping out my goals, mapping out a time frame as to what I was intending to do, what I could realistically expect to do, and what the potential accomplishments would be.
And great message, Casey, because that's the recipe for success right there. Setting goals, again, one foot in front of the other, is going to get us there. And again, what you were saying earlier, success leaves clues. And as you were saying, when you're researching and looking into the different niches, look who's doing it. Look who's doing what you're wanting to get into, and see what they're doing, how they're doing it. But how can you make it better? How can you put your stamp on it and really own it to make your own? So I think those are two really good, powerful points that, small business owners, whether you're starting, whether you're in it, can kind of use and kind of just, have a new starting point. Look at what your competitors are doing and then just do it better, because if it's building them success, well, there's no problem sharing some of it with them, and you're going to have your things that these businesses are going to follow you on. So great message. And I think, you have the same mentality as most of us, all kind of just sitting here twiddling our thumbs, wondering what post COVID-19 is going to bring to us in the future. But like you said, we're going to stay strong. We're all local. We support each other, and that's going to be what keeps us strong. And that's kind of our goal here in Go Shop Locals, especially in Las Vegas. Every city, every town does the different things they want to stay relative. This is our way to kind of give our small businesses a voice and kind of, follow their dreams exactly as you have. So I really appreciate you coming and joining us, Casey. If there's any other questions or answers or anything that you guys need from them, we will leave their information so you can contact them and reach out to them via their Facebook and email. And sounds like Casey says, if you have any questions, go ahead and reach out and give them a call. Casey, do you have anything that you want to kind of end with, or any promotions you got going on, or anything you want to let people know that you got cooking for this next couple weeks or next months while you guys open up?
So I'd just like to thank all of our customers that have continued to support us through, this national tragedy, and how much we appreciate them all. My team of employees, they're all fantastic, and we very much appreciate our customers. We just are all tremendous dog lovers, and we're so glad to see our pack coming back in, and we just want to thank everybody. And if you want to, set up an appointment for your dog to come in and join our pack, just give us a call at 702-472-9663, and we can get you set up and tell you about what our requirements are, and get your dog in and get them exercising, get them socializing, and we'll send them back to you so that they can crash out for a couple days.
Great. Well, thanks again, Casey, and Camp Bow Wow and the whole Gish family. We hope nothing but success for you guys in the opening, and keep with us and let us know how everything goes. We'll check back in with you. All right.
All right. And thank you so much for your support of small local businesses. Us little guys, we really, really need the help right now. And we haven't been able to stay open like all the big guys, like the Walmarts and all of them, it's really had a terrible impact on our economy, and especially on small businesses who do provide the majority of jobs in our country and in our community.
Well, thank you. And that's what keeps us going. So that's our goal, and we'll see where it takes us. So thank you again, Casey. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks so much. Have a good day.
You too.
Thanks for watching the interview, guys. Be sure to join the group and subscribe to learn more about small businesses like Camp Bow Wow. And remember to go shop local.